Hello, this is the start of my shed build series of videos. This is on my field. As you can see, there's an area marked out on the field here with like a roadway going off towards the gate and then a square, and the square or rectangle is 1 metre bigger in all directions than the shed, and these are the areas I'm going to dig off and eventually stone up. As you'll see in this video, this is about digging the topsoil off. This is just a bit of an overview of the job at hand. There's 80 tonne of rubble that's been dropped there. 60 tonne is crushed, 20 tonne is raw material. That's a start, but there's going to be many more loads coming. To the right is a shed I put up two years ago, the year before last, and that's a hay shed which is clad in Yorkshire board. So the Yorkshire boarding is wooden boarding, roughly 6 inches wide, with a gap between to allow for ventilation. There's 2 tyre tracks there where a tractor got stuck lifting some haylage bales. And as you can see, this is the area that is going to get dug off. I took this video whilst waiting for a excavator to be dropped off. The excavator I'm having is I think it's called a Devil, which is what Doosan used to be before they joined up with another brand. I think it's either a 13 or a 15 tonne excavator. And you'll see it now. That's from Clawley Access and Plant Hire. They're based in Wixall, and if you do need any plant hire or any tool hire or anything like that, please have a look in the description. And there's a link to their website. They'll help you out, no problem. Sam, who runs the business, can't do enough to help you. Really good prices too. So I dug the track off, digging the topsoil off down to the clay, and then I filmed this with the drone. And I was trying to put as much of the topsoil onto this left hand side as I could reach, and then the remainder will go on the right hand side. The one on the right hand side is going to stay there as like a raised embankment, like on the other side of the existing track, and that one's got a hedge planted on the top of. This one will too in time. I think that'll be quite a nice entrance into the site when it's all grown up, and it will also camouflage the shed slightly from the lane. The soil on the left hand side here is going to be moved down the field into a depression that always gets a bit wet, but I'm waiting for some better weather to do that. Wait for the ground to dry up, and I'll do that during the summer. So it's just being stored here for now. Although I'm getting a bit better with an excavator, I'm no pro at it, so I don't confess to be. I do my best, and I quite enjoy doing bits on a digger, learning as I go. Please do comment and give me any tips you can. I'm sure there's lots of people out there that are better than I am that are watching these videos. Just take a bit of practice to use an excavator, and there will be a video shortly before too long of the basic controls of an excavator. I'm planning to try and do a Sunday video on this build, and there may be, as work progresses and gets faster, there may be a midweek update. But with the breach not having much going on over the weekend, I thought a Sunday video would be quite good use of time to put this up. So that's my plan, a Sunday afternoon, possibly. Maybe a Sunday evening, depending on where I'm up to with it all. Like the breach, you'll see later in the video, digging the topsoil off, and then I'm just putting a membrane in and then the rubble. At the breach they've used like a geogrid system as well to stabilise it. I've never done that, but I've just always put a membrane in and then the stone on top. I'm aiming for about 18 inches thick, which isn't far off 500mm, I guess, which is similar to the breach. My plot isn't completely level, it kind of hollows in the middle, so it's going to be thicker in the middle and thins out a little bit on the head side on the left hand side, and then a little bit thicker on the right. We'll get a view from in the cab shortly, which will be a little bit different to the drone footage. I know this is slightly different to the breach, but it's still using very similar techniques and similar machinery, so I do hope some of you will enjoy watching this. I enjoy filming it and documenting this for my own satisfaction, really. Be able to look back on this. So this is within the cab. Getting the area level that's dug off and back to clay without digging the machine in, digging the bucket in if you like, is harder than it looks. It's not an easy thing being an excavator driver, but as I say, I could have got someone in to do this, but I quite enjoy having a go myself. It's my own field and it's a bit of a journey, really. I bought most of this field with money that I inherited when my mum passed away, so it was quite a special place to me. I actually bought it just before, when she wasn't very well, just before she passed away, so she did get to see the field and see my plans for it. So I feel quite close to my mum when I go to this field, which is quite nice. This shed's going to be a machinery shed. It's going to be clad with box profile sheeting all the way round, and it's going to have obviously a box profile roof. I don't like having the machinery and the hay stored together for a fire risk, and also with the hay shed being open fronted and also Yorkshire boarded, it's not that secure. So I'm looking forward to being able to have doors that'll lock and close and lock if you like, for security. Also keep it separate from the hay. And you'll see throughout the series of videos how the shed is constructed. And how they're built. Do bear in mind this isn't a commercial job, this is me building this on my own land. I'm not paying anyone to do it, so there's Ernie seeing someone outside. Yeah, so that I haven't got high vis on or anything like that, but there's only me at the field working on my own. Occasionally my friend comes and helps me, but try and do things safely nevertheless, but it's not quite the same as working on a commercial site. And he's still looking out the window at the moment, so I do expect further barking shortly. Now he's sat on my knee. Hopefully he doesn't touch the computer. Hello, Ernie. He says hello. Sit down. Sit. Good lad. May need to pause this audio in a moment. There is someone outside, but if they need me, I'll pause and then I'll restart it. Get a serious amount of earth moved with a digger of this size, and a bigger digger is actually sometimes easier to use, especially in open area, than a smaller one. With a bit of weight about them, they're less they're less tippy, more stable. Ernie, stop. In a built up environment where there's a lot of buildings and walls and things, these aren't always as easy to as a smaller excavator. They all have the same principle, but bigger excavators, when things do go wrong, will obviously cause a lot more damage. I can see him trying to reach as far this way as I can to take the soil to the left, like I said. And then there's just a small strip on the right hand side to put into that bund that's going to stay there. I don't want that bund to be huge, so that's why I'm taking as much as I can to the left. Eventually there will be a bit more dug off around the area of the shed for access and hardcore access, but I'm splitting that into two sections. I'm doing some of it now, the shed base and a meter around it, so I can get the shed started, and then after that I'll do the access track and whatever, really just to split the cost for myself, because the hardcore is actually quite a expensive thing. You need so much of it. I'm probably going to be, I would have thought, up near 300, maybe slightly more tons, which is brought in 20 ton loads. Of course, you've got transport on it and everything else. Not quite the size of the Breeches track, but I haven't got the budget that they've got either. Wished I did, but I haven't. And he's still whimpering at me because there's still someone outside. I'm getting towards that white line on the right hand side, so we're not so far away from the bottom end of this now. I did all this digging off in half a day, if you like. By lunchtime I dug off the topsoil nearly, so it didn't take that long. Went a little bit too deep there, as you probably tell. Just gonna have to leave you for a minute. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just had to speak to someone. The excavator that I'm using here is a Devlon. I just had a look at a note I made about it. It weighs 15.6 tons. A quite compact machine with a very small tail swing, which means the back of the machine doesn't stick over the track very much, which is kind of, with a lot of excavators, the counterweight at the back when it swings around will stick over the side of the track on the side of the machine, which can catch you out hitting things and whatnot. Or if you're working on the road, it can stick out into the road. Can catch out quite easily. It's got 115 horsepower engine, I believe. It can dig down to about 5.5 meters in depth. And I think it's roughly got a 0.5 meter cube bucket capacity. Obviously that can change slightly with what bucket you use, but I think that's what it says in the specification for this machine. As I say, this is from Clawley Access and Plant, and I will put their link in the description, so please do go and check them out. If you want to support the channel, the buy me a coffee link is in the description, but more importantly to me is to subscribe to the channel and please share the video so it reaches more people. We'll get a wider audience, if you like. It'd be very much appreciated. I'm going for another drone view now in a second, and we'll have a look at it once it was at the pad, if you like. Once I've dug it off. So that's all dug off, and as you can see, the bund on the other side is created. It needs tidying up, shaping, but it's there. And I've also started rolling out a bit of membrane in readiness for some hardcore to come. That membrane will be rolled out and cover the whole dug off area. I didn't roll it all out so I didn't have to track onto it if I wanted to drive that side. I think what I'll try and do is stay on the track and have the hardcore dropped on the membrane and then spread it out with the excavator, but you'll be able to see how I do that and if that's the way I decided to do it in the next video. So please do subscribe and ring the notification bell, and you'll get a notification of future updates. Like I say, this is the first video of this series of videos, but I do hope and I do think to try and do one of these every Sunday when there's not a lot going on at the breach. Maybe more, maybe a midweek update if there's a lot going on this site. And that's just a close-up picture of the pad that's been dug off. So that brings us to the end of this video, so thank you very much for watching. Please do check back and see the next video. Thank you.